Hey everyone, welcome back to LoopIt Radio, where English learning meets real conversation. I'm Sandra, and today's episode is all about one of the most powerful habits for success, your daily routine. From how you start your morning to how you unwind at night, your routine shapes your focus, mood, and productivity. In this episode, our hosts Nikkie James and Ryan Johnson will share practical examples of daily routines, from mornings full of energy to peaceful evenings that help you recharge, all while helping you learn natural English expressions you can use in everyday life. So grab your headphones, relax, and get ready to learn English the easy way, through real stories, real vocabulary, and real conversations. Let's dive in.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we are immersing ourselves in something fundamental, the daily routine.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not just observing, are we? We're here to really dissect it.
Exactly. We've got this stack of notes, sources detailing schedules for two, quite different people.
Right? A student and an employed professional. And the goal is to figure out what specific habits, the tactical stuff, actually help create balance and control and ultimately productivity.
It's a really crucial deep dive, I think, because when you look through this material, you see the daily routine isn't just like a list of times.
No.
It's almost this unspoken contract we make with ourselves each morning. It's the blueprint for how we use our energy, mental and physical.
That's a good way to put it, a blueprint for energy.
Yeah. And our mission today is really to pull out those non-negotiable habits, the ones backed by, how our bodies and minds actually work.
The things that help people feel organized, feel in control.
Mm-hmm. Whether they're, studying for exams or managing a demanding job.
And these templates we have, they are incredibly clear. Very practical, moment-by-moment examples, which I like.
Yeah, it's not just high-level theory about being productive.
No, it's the nitty-gritty, the actual execution of a balanced day. We want to show you the why behind these choices, the strategy, so you can maybe adapt what works for you. #TagI, the foundational role of routine and preparation.
Okay, so let's maybe start by defining what we mean by routine in this context. It's power.
Good idea.
It's not about, these huge life-changing decisions you make once a year. It's really made up of the little things, often kind of boring things, honestly.
Done regularly.
Done regularly, exactly, throughout the day. And it's the cumulative effect, the compounding effect of those reliable small actions. That's what gives structure. It prevents that decision fatigue we all feel.
That cumulative effect really kicks off the second the alarm rings, doesn't it?
Instantly.
So let's unpack the morning routine, because that really sets the trajectory for the whole day. Things like cortisol, focus. We see an immediate difference here in wake-up times, which seems to reflect their different demands, right? The student, usually around 7 a.m.,
Mm-hmm.
The professional, a bit earlier, 6:30 a.m.
And that earlier start for the professional, it immediately flags something important. The routine is often, initially, a response to outside pressures.
Like the job needs you there early.
Exactly. The job requires that early start. But here's the interesting bit, the paradox almost. If you only react to that external pressure, you often end up feeling drained.
Right. Just reacting.
The mastery, the control, comes from how they introduce internal control mechanisms to manage that early start. Ways to own it, essentially.
Which brings us right to this idea of the gentle start. I really liked this part. It's so simple, but it feels psychologically powerful.
It is.
The student waking at 7 takes a moment, they stretch, they breathe before even getting out of bed.
Yeah.
It's described as not just moving, but a gentle way to feel more alert. What's really going on there? What's the deeper implication of that tiny action?
Fundamentally, it's about signaling safety to your nervous system. Think about it. When you jolt immediately from sleep into a high alert state, maybe grabbing your phone, checking email, jumping right up.
Which so many people do.
Right. You risk spiking your cortisol, your stress hormone, way too early and too fast. That stretch, that breath, it acts as a gradual transition. A buffer.
Okay.
It's low stakes movement. It gets blood flowing a bit, moves lymph, and it basically tells your brain, okay, time to transition, but there's no immediate threat, no emergency.
So it's an internal cue, starting the day with intention, not just reactive.
Precisely. Mindfulness, not just pure reaction.
And the professional, even with that slightly earlier 6:30 a.m. start uses an equally powerful foundational habit, immediate hydration.
Yes. First thing, a glass of water.
We kind of gloss over this sometimes, but it seems tactically brilliant. Why is just a simple glass of water so strategically important right when you wake up?
Well, it's basic biological housekeeping, really. You've just gone, 7, maybe 8 hours without any fluid intake. So mild dehydration upon waking. It's super common. And that can immediately lead to feeling foggy, maybe a headache, just general lethargy.
Yeah, that brain fog is real.
Totally. So by drinking water immediately, you're jump-starting your metabolism, you're restoring the fluid balance you lost overnight through breathing and, just existing.
And flushing things out.
And actively flushing out metabolic waste products.
Yeah.
This is how that professional ensures that 6:30 a.m. doesn't automatically mean 6:30 a.m. grogginess or fatigue. It's a quick physical strategy to overcome that lag time.
Okay, so we've got the internal physical cue stretching, breathing for the nervous system, and the external biological fuel water for rapid rehydration.
Both prioritizing a positive, intentional start.
Right. And after that, both routines kind of converge on these essential setting the tone habits, hygiene.
Brushing teeth, washing the face, right after that initial gentle start. It's critical. And it's framed not just as being clean.
No, it's more than that.
It's framed as a refreshing start. Something that helps them fully transition from that, amorphous state of sleep into actual readiness mode.
Like drawing a line.
Exactly. It's another small anchor habit, defines the boundary between night and day. Very clear signal.
Then comes fuel, actual energy. And here we see a really crucial strategic difference, directly linked to the energy demands of their day.
Absolutely.
The student opts for a light breakfast, defined here as something small, simple, oatmeal, maybe toast. And the key is the goal. Get energy up quickly before classes start. It seems to be about maximum efficiency for quick absorption.
That perfectly reflects the cognitive demands facing a student first thing. They need glucose, brain fuel, available rapidly for immediate concentration in, say, a 9 a.m. lecture.
Or a long study block right after.
Exactly. So that light breakfast, focusing maybe on simple or slightly complex carbs, provides that fast energy without diverting huge amounts of blood flow and resources to heavy digestion.
Okay, so it's about optimizing glucose delivery for focused thinking, fast.
Right. Quick hit, cognitive effort optimization.
Now contrast that with the professional. For them, breakfast is called essential, and they're going for heartier options. Eggs with toast, maybe a smoothie.
Yeah, you can see they're preparing for potentially a much longer haul, high-stakes meetings, maybe unpredictable client interactions, complex project work that needs sustained focus.
Their energy needs are fundamentally different then.
Completely. They need sustained release, not a quick peak. Eggs, smoothies, they often bring in more protein, maybe some healthy fats, and those slow down the absorption rate of any carbohydrates consumed with them.
Okay, so that avoids the rapid glucose spikes.
And the inevitable crash that follows.
Yeah.
They need fuel that's going to carry them consistently through the mid-morning, keep them sharp during maybe critical decision-making or client calls.
So the professional is optimizing for endurance, while the student is optimizing for speed and immediate mental fuel access. Makes sense.
It's tailored energy strategy.
Okay, so physical body fueled. Now, structuring the mind. This pre-game plan idea, crucially, both of them check their agenda, their to-do list, after breakfast, not before.
Yes. And that timing seems highly deliberate. Very important detail.
Why not just check it first thing?
Well, it's a powerful countermove against decision fatigue and, frankly, anxiety. If you check your demanding emails or that long, maybe intimidating to-do list while you're still hungry, maybe a bit dehydrated, before your coffee or tea is kicked in.
You're not at your best.
Not even close. You're basically expending precious cognitive resources on worry and prioritization when your brain is least equipped to handle it effectively.
Okay.
By waiting until they're fed, hydrated, settled, they're facing their day's tasks proactively, not reactively. They get to dictate the terms to their day rather than letting their inbox dictate the terms to them.
That proactive control, that feels like the essence of feeling organized. The sources really emphasize how much better it feels to feel organized before jumping into things. Reviewing the agenda or tasks when you're calm must make a huge difference. You can prioritize based on actual importance, not just what feels urgent or shouts loudest.
Absolutely. You're setting up your internal GPS for the day, as you said. When you define your priorities while calm and nourished, you're engaging your executive functions, your planning brain first.
Got it.
So this whole foundation, the gentle wake-ups, the strategic hydration, the breakfast tailored to your needs, and then this prepared review of the to-do list, it establishes this organizational scaffolding.
Scaffolding, I like that.
Yeah, and that structure helps resist the inevitable chaos or unexpected demands the day will eventually throw at them. It's the difference between operating from a position of control versus feeling like you're constantly scrambling to catch up.
A much better feeling to start the day.
Definitely. #2, navigating the productive afternoon.
Okay, let's shift gears. Let's move into the afternoon. Our sources call this the engine room of the day, the period for execution.
Yeah, where the rubber meets the road, so to speak.
For the student, this is when they feel most focused. Prime time for classes are those deep study sessions. And for the professional, it's often the busiest part. Packed with meetings, project work, deadlines, high intensity.
And that transition from the sort of structured preparation of the morning to the high-intensity execution of the afternoon, it demands sustained focus.
But sustained focus is hard. It's not really possible to just power through for hours, is it?
Not effectively, no. Which brings us to something crucial. The necessity of strategic breaks. Deliberate interruption.
The sources are really clear on this. Even during long study blocks or intense project work, taking short breaks is vital. They need to actually step away from the desk.
Get up and move.
Yeah, stretch and move around. And the purpose is explicit. It helps keep my mind fresh. It sounds almost too simple. What's the neuroscience behind why a short intentional break actually works?
Well, our cognitive resources, our ability to focus intently, they're finite. They deplete. When you're really engaged in intense focus, psychologists sometimes call it a flow state, you're demanding a lot from your prefrontal cortex.
Right.
That requires restorative input. A short break, even just 5 minutes of movement, does several things. One, it prevents you from getting stuck, fixated on one problem. It allows for what's called diffuse thinking, where background processing can happen.
Ah, okay. Like letting ideas simmer.
Kinda, yeah. 2, it improves circulation, gets more oxygenated blood flowing to the brain. And 3, crucially, it interrupts the mental fatigue cycle. It's not a distraction in a negative sense. It's an investment in maintaining the quality of your focus afterward.
An investment. Okay. And for the professional, maybe locked into hours of desk work, stepping away briefly helps them recharge. That word implies more than just a pause, doesn't it? Like plugging back in.
It does. The sources mention stretching or grabbing a snack, but the key is that brief physical shift. It's enough to kind of reset your internal clock and regain some energy.
Recharge the battery?
Exactly. It's about combating what scientists call directed attention fatigue. When you force your attention onto something for a long time, those specific mental resources get tired, they deplete quickly. By shifting your attention, even just looking out the window, doing a few stretches, you allow those attention muscles to relax for a moment. This ability to recharge is what helps the professional maintain sharpness through, say, a 3 p.m. meeting after a long morning.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, here's where it gets really interesting for me. Avoiding the dreaded afternoon slump.
Ah, yes, the energy slump. Everyone knows it.
Everyone dreads that post-lunch dip. And both routines seem to have a very strategic approach to their midday meal, usually around noon.
Highly strategic. They aim to step away from work completely, which is important in itself.
Yeah, mentally disconnect.
But the critical rule seems to be the choice of food.
Right. The sources explicitly warn against eating anything too heavy. Why? Because it can make you feel sluggish.
Slow, lacking energy, yeah.
And this isn't just like casual diet advice, is it? It sounds like peak performance strategy.
It absolutely is. If your goal is afternoon productivity, especially complex thinking or problem solving, you simply cannot afford the physical drag that comes from a really heavy, high-fat or maybe high-simple sugar meal.
That physical drag, the food coma feeling, it's a real biological thing, right?
Oh, completely.
Yeah.
It happens when a large meal demands significant digestive effort. Your body diverts blood flow away from the brain towards the digestive system.
Okay.
Plus, you often get a sharp rise and then a subsequent crash in blood sugar and insulin levels,
Yeah.
especially with refined carbs or sugary foods. That crash is the slump.
So the midday fuel choices we see here reflect a deliberate avoidance of that physiological roller coaster.
Exactly. We see light options mentioned, a salad, a sandwich. The professional specifically mentions a quinoa salad with veggies.
Healthier options.
Yeah, designed to provide sustained energy. Complex carbohydrates, some protein. These are slower burning fuels. The sources clearly state that keeping lunch healthy helps me avoid that mid-afternoon energy slump.
They're optimizing for steady glucose levels because glucose is the brain's primary fuel.
Precisely. Sustained brain fuel.
So lunch is viewed almost as a functional tool here, not just a break or indulgence. It's a mechanism for maintaining consistent performance.
A strategic refuel.
And right after lunch, there's another little habit mentioned, regrouping. What does that mean? It's not just walking back to the desk, is it?
No, it seems to be more mental. Taking a moment, maybe just a minute or two, to organize your thoughts. Prepare mentally for the second half of the day.
Why is that little buffer important?
It's critical for reducing what psychologists call switch cost. You're shifting modes from the relaxed state of eating, maybe chatting, back to the focused state needed for work.
Right, changing gears mentally.
Exactly. That regrouping moment helps ensure you don't carry the mental remnants of lunch, the conversation, the environment back into your professional headspace. It's like wiping the mental slate clean before diving back in. A deliberate reset.
Okay. And because they've managed their energy well with that light lunch, they know this post-lunch period is a prime window.
Their best window, often.
The strategy seems to be tackle the big things now. Focus on major assignments, key projects right after lunch, while energy and focus are likely still high before the natural late-day decline starts to set in.
That is scheduling brilliance. You're allocating your most cognitively demanding tasks, the ones needing deep concentration, creativity, real brain power, to the period when you've just intentionally refueled and mentally refreshed yourself.
Makes perfect sense.
And this is where we see some great actionable language, the informal phrase, knockout.
Yeah, I saw that.
Both the student and the professional aim to knock out their key projects or tasks during this window, meaning, complete them efficiently, get them done effectively while their energy reserves are still high.
They're not using this peak time for minor stuff, checking email, admin tasks.
Doesn't seem like it. They dedicate that high-value time slot to high-value work. This ensures that even if their energy naturally dips later in the afternoon, the most critical work for the day is already accomplished. Secured.
Smart. So the whole afternoon structure seems dedicated to sustained performance, managed through careful fueling, strategic breaks, and timing the hardest work for the peak energy window.
It's a very proactive approach to managing energy, not just time. #3, the evening reset and winding down. Okay, so now we move into the final act of the day, the evening. And this part is, I think, often the most neglected.
Yeah, people finish work or studying and just kind of drift.
Right. But the goal here needs to shift completely, away from external productivity and high focus towards internal relaxation, letting go of the day's stress. And that transition has to be deliberate, guarded even.
The sources use the term unwind, to relax and let go of stress. Why is making that transition deliberate so critical? Why can't you just, flop on the couch?
Because if you don't consciously create a boundary between the focused intensity of the afternoon and the deep rest you need at night, the stress, the mental to-do list, the cortisol, it all just bleeds right into your evening.
And ruins your relaxation and probably your sleep quality, too.
Precisely. The whole point of the evening routine should be to lower the body's alert state. We need to actively decrease those circulating stress hormones like cortisol that were actually helpful and necessary during the afternoon's work.
Okay. So how do they start that de-escalation?
The dinner ritual seems to mark the beginning of it.
For the professional, dinner's usually around 7 or 0 p.m. And the focus is on meals that are described as simple but satisfying.
And we get good examples. Grilled salmon with veggies, a stir fry with rice, pasta with vegetables, maybe a rice bowl.
What's the common thread there? Seems like balance, maybe ease of preparation.
I think so. Again, we're seeing functional nutrition, but now the function is different. It's about promoting comfort and, crucially, avoiding digestive disruption right before sleep.
So you don't want your body working hard digesting when it should be winding down.
Exactly. Avoiding really heavy, fatty, or overly complex meals minimizes the metabolic load just before your body needs to shift into rest and recovery mode. The focus seems to be on simple proteins, complex carbs, things that provide satiety without taxing the system heavily, allows the body to prioritize winding down.
Okay. And once dinner's done, the active decompression starts with light activity.
Yes. Both routines mention using light movement like a short walk or some gentle stretching to actively de-stress.
Described as a peaceful way to close out the day, it feels quite elegant, actually, using physical release for mental relaxation.
It's a natural pathway. Movement helps dissipate any residual physical tension that might have built up during a stressful day. Tight shoulders, neck,
Yeah.
A short walk also helps regulate blood sugar after the meal, and it promotes a gentle metabolic slowdown. It's a proactive step to shift from the cognitive demands of work toward the physical and mental ease needed for rest.
And then there's a final piece of daily hygiene, which acts as, apparently, the ultimate mental switch.
Yes, this was fascinating. Both make sure to brush their teeth and wash their face after dinner. Seems trivial, maybe?
A little bit. But the sources frame it really powerfully, especially for the professional.
They use the reset button metaphor, which I think is brilliant behavioral psychology.
Tell me more about that.
They literally say that brushing their teeth and washing their face feels like pressing the reset button after a long day.
Wow.
So the reset button is a metaphor for consciously initiating a fresh, non-work mindset. That simple, mundane routine becomes an anchor habit.
An anchor habit.
Yeah, a small, tangible ritual that signals a major mental transition. Once that hygiene routine is done, the brain gets the message. The workday is definitively over. The environment, the mode, has shifted to relaxation. It draws a very clear line.
I love that. The reset button, that's something anyone could implement.
Totally.
Okay, so the reset button has been pressed. Now what? The rest of the evening is strictly for relaxation.
Right. And this final stage is about winding down, which means, gradually slowing everything down to prepare for sleep.
And this stage seems to have one absolute non-negotiable rule.
Yes. Avoid screens before bed. Critical.
They replace screen time phones, tablets, TVs with calming screen-free activities like reading a physical book, listening to music, or having a cup of herbal tea.
And they specifically point out herbal teas, caffeine-free. Important detail. Aids relaxation.
Why is avoiding screens so crucial right before bed? We hear it all the time, but what's the mechanism?
It's mainly about the blue light emitted by screens. That specific wavelength of light directly interferes with your body's natural production and release of melatonin.
Melatonin being the sleep hormone.
Exactly. The hormone that regulates sleep onset and sleep cycles. Blue light essentially tells your brain, hey, it's still daytime, stay alert, even when it's 10 p.m.
Okay. So by using low-stakes, low-light activities, instead reading a paper book under lamplight, listening to calm music, they're consciously managing their environmental cues to support natural melatonin production.
Precisely. Reading or music provides a gentle kind of cognitive engagement, enough to distract the mind from maybe ruminating on the day's stresses or tomorrow's tasks.
Without activating that high alert state that glowing dynamic screens are basically designed to capture.
Exactly. Screens are designed to grab and hold attention. Winding down requires the opposite. This intentional practice of winding down is the final, crucial stage of managing your energy for the day, setting up for recovery.
And all of this, the de-stressing, the reset button, the winding down, directly supports the final, most critical habit of the entire routine.
Consistent sleep.
Yes. Both the student and the professional aim for a consistent bedtime. Around 10:00 p.m. or 10:30 p.m. in these examples.
And the consistency is the absolute key insight here. It's not just about getting enough hours, though that's vital too.
Right. It's the regularity.
Going to bed around the same time every night, and ideally waking up around the same time, reinforces your body's natural circadian rhythm, your internal clock. This regularity means your body starts to anticipate sleep. It prepares the necessary hormonal changes like releasing melatonin and lowering cortisol automatically at the right time.
So it makes falling asleep easier and probably improves sleep quality.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And the payoff is clear. It's highly emphasized in the notes. They feel so much better the next day when they get that full, regular night's sleep.
It creates a virtuous cycle, doesn't it?
It's a complete closed-loop system. Consistency at night ensures the morning starts with properly restored energy, not accumulated exhaustion from the day before. And that restored energy then fuels the next day's productive cycle. It all links together. Hashtag tag outro.
Okay, so if we try to synthesize all of this, pull together the core takeaways, the success of these two routines, even though they look a bit different on the surface, really comes down to applying some core biological and behavioral principles very strategically.
Yeah, I think that's right. First, that gentle wake up. It's all about managing your stress hormones right from the start, whether that's through internal cues like a simple stretch or immediate external support like drinking that glass of water.
Right. Setting a calm baseline. Second, protecting that afternoon focus. That seems to hinge on, well, militant attention to glucose management, those light, healthy lunches, and using micro-restorations, those short breaks, to actively fight off mental fatigue.
Combating directed attention fatigue specifically. Third, the evening must include a deliberate transition, defined by powerful little anchor habits like that reset button hygiene ritual you mentioned. That creates the necessary space between work and rest.
Defines the boundary.
Yeah.
And finally, that conscious decision to wind down properly, screen-free, coupled with a consistent bedtime. That's not just about feeling good in the evening, it's directly protecting your cognitive energy reserves for the next day.
It absolutely all connects back. And the fundamental idea, I think, is that a successful routine isn't meant to be a restriction. It's actually an empowerment tool.
Yeah, it gives you control rather than taking it away.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
whether you're navigating classes or juggling meetings, or maybe just trying to bring more structure to your day if you work from home, having a functional routine based on these kinds of principles, managing energy, respecting transitions, it's key to staying organized. And maybe more importantly, feeling genuinely in control.
And it's not just about productivity, is it? It's also about self-care.
Absolutely. It's about intentionally taking those moments to relax, to recharge, to actually take care of yourself so you don't burn out. That sustainability is crucial.
Okay, so that leads us nicely into our final provocative thought for you, the listener. If the foundation of balance really relies on these defined rhythms, managing cortisol in the morning, glucose in the afternoon, melatonin in the evening, which habit, maybe just one small, seemingly insignificant habit, is currently missing from your life? Something that, if you actually implemented it consistently, might give you the greatest immediate sense of control over the flow of your day.
Yeah, what's that one small lever you could pull? Is it literally just that first glass of water? Is it taking 2 minutes to stretch before you leap out of bed? Or maybe it really is just putting your phone away 30 minutes earlier at night.
Find that one keystone habit. See what happens. Maybe the rest of the routine starts to fall into place around it.
It's worth experimenting. Keep building those healthy habits, and we'll see you next time for The Deep Dive.
That was such a refreshing conversation. A reminder that small habits can shape big results. Big thanks to Nikkie and Ryan for guiding us through the rhythm of daily life. And to you, our listeners, for learning along with us. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell icon to get more episodes that help you speak English naturally and confidently. And remember, routines aren't just about repetition, they're about progress. I'm Alex, signing off from LoopIt Radio, where learning never stops and every word takes you closer to fluency. See you in the next one.